guys have any questions or anything, then now's the time to ask. Go ahead and take some questions.
Well, I'll get a little closer to you so we can stick our microphones a lot closer. And
Sure.
Yeah, we need you to come a little
step
closer,
up a little
please.
bit. I guess I don't know if you guys want to stand back there or not.
A little bit closer if you would.
Too close? Okay.
Ryan, you're very young looking. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. Married, father of how many kids?
3 boys.
Okay. You're running on the GOP platform, or running, on the GOP. What makes you think you can take down Governor Herbert? I mean, I thought he was the anointed one of the GOP.
Well, I don't know if he's the anointed one. Maybe he is. I haven't been involved in politics, and I think that's refreshing to have someone who isn't involved and hasn't been involved, who represents the people. And I know for a fact, and talking to people that I know and hearing around that they don't necessarily believe he's an anointed one, but I believe that it's my responsibility and duty, and I have this right to stand up and throw my hat in the ring.
Do you believe that you have a long shot candidacy?
Well, anyone that has stepped out of the public and runs for an office like this without being in the system of politics as it is, then yeah, it's somewhat of a long shot, but I feel confident and hopeful, and I know I speak for a lot of people when just by standing up and doing this.
What do you, how do you think that you will fare in convention then? Do you think, have you spoken to any of the party leadership about your candidacy prior to throwing your hat in the ring, and what was the reaction you got?
I've spoke to a few people involved in the political world and in the GOP party, and they all mentioned the convention, how important that is, and it will be a challenge. I have a lot of work to do, and people need to know who I am and see my face and hear my voice and know what I'm about. And I think it's good to have competition. It's kind of like the free market system. There needs to be a little competition and give people a choice and an option. As it is before today, there's only been one choice, an option in the GOP party. And so I'm just going to stand up and be another choice.
How are you doing as far as fundraising?
Working on it. I have a lot of fundraising to do. Unfortunately, this takes money, and I don't want to have to rely on a lot of people to donate, but the fact is you have to have money to run a campaign. So I'm working on that. Personal funds and contributions will go into running this campaign.
You made a comment about how Utah could be self-sufficient. Talk about some of the issues you see are priority for you that are wrong with the way things are going, whether it's just because the legislature is in session and there's things there you don't like, or the way some things are run, or Utah's involvement in a national level. Do you speak to any of that?
Well, it's all intertwined. It comes on a national level, but a state as well. And that's why I said that I feel that we need to challenge the federal government always. And they own a lot of our land, and that restricts us from recovering a lot of the resources that we have with oil and natural gas and doing what we want on our own land. And so that's one of the things I mean by saying that I think we can be self-sufficient, self-reliant. Using the resources we have here and the people that we have here, we can produce anything, and we do. We have commerce throughout the world with other countries and interstate and intrastate commerce here. So I believe we can be a self-reliant, self-sustaining state and government.
Are you comfortable with what's going on up here this year in terms of the kinds of issues that we're looking at, the budget issues? Are you seeing some real weaknesses there that are a part of your platform and the kinds of things you want to see different?
Well, from what I see is there are some things that I think that we kind of waste our time with as far as legislation, and it makes it a little further than what it should. But then there are a lot of good things too going on. I know there's a bill on the SB 11 that's on the governor's desk right now, which challenges some of the federal government's rights and control over us. We also have a lot of issues with the school system and education right now that are a bit of a challenge that we're going to have to address and figure that out. Overall, I think there are a lot of important issues. It's kind of siphoning through all those and seeing which ones are really important. Or not just expanding our government programs just to satisfy some people that are, have some concerns.
What kind of business? You said you're a small business owner. What kind of business?
I just have a countertop business here in the Salt Lake Valley.
What was there any one particular thing that made you say, you know what, I need to run? You said you have no political experience. You've never run for governor before. What was it that made you decide you're going to run for the highest office in the state? I mean, out of all the things, most people start small, city council, county commission, and you went right for the top.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any aspirations of having a career in politics. That's not my desire. I've never thought that I would ever run for an office on a city level or municipality level of any kind. So yeah, this is a big thing and it's a big step. But I feel in my own life, this is similar to maybe what members of the military, the police and fire departments go through, where they feel compelled to get involved and reach higher than maybe what they personally would go for, and so I felt really strong that this is something that I should do. And you spoke about my age. As far as that's concerned, I qualify. And so I feel that this is a responsibility that we all have to get involved in some way. For me, this is where I felt compelled to get involved.
How would you rank your odds right now? You kind of seem like you are the underdog in this race.
Well, anyone that looks at me knows that I'd be an underdog, but I'm gonna be fighting as if I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be running as if I'm gonna win. I have confidence, and I talk to people all the time that they've been supportive so far. I feel that the people there's just a different feel, really, across our country, here in our state, that people want others that are just like them, that will run for political offices. And as we see in sports and other things, underdogs kind of surprise us and can shock some people.
Are you a part of the Tea Party movement?
Not necessarily. There are a lot of things that's kind of hard because I belong to the Republican Party, and my platform aligns very closely with the Republican Party. There are a lot of people in the Tea Party movement that I think have some good points, and I support a lot of what they're doing, and in a way, I guess I feel like I am close to them, in a way where I'm running for this office is really grassroots and trying to get support and get awareness. This isn't comfortable for me to be able to stand here and in front of all of you and to do this. It's not what I was really hoping to do as far as get attention on me, but I feel very strong about what I'm doing, and so hopefully that answered your question.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.